Hello there guys, my name is Quinn Scott and welcome to the first real episode of programming in Java. Today we're going to go over variables, System.out.print, and we're going to learn kind of what everything means in the program that we're going to write. So first off, I want to explain what this means. So whenever you start or make a new Java file, .java file, you're going to see this. Now this, wherever you see these two squiggly brackets, this is what's called a block. Now, a block is pretty much just a place where code lives. It tells the computer that, hey, code is here, read in between these lines. Public means that this method or this statement or this class file, as you can see this is a class, pretty much can be read by other programs or class files. And main is just a name. You could have named it whatever. You could have named it hi, hello, what's up, anything, as long as it's not main with a lowercase m, that's fine. So it has to be an uppercase m if you want to name it main. And yeah, that's pretty much what this means. So right now, if we try to run it, it's going to want us to save it. It's going to give us an error. It's going to say error, main method not found in class main. Please define the main method as public static void main string args. You could just copy this right here. It's easier than printing it out. And then make this a method by adding a block under it. And it's going to erase all errors, and if we run it again, nothing's going to really happen because there's nothing that's happening. So this method is public static void main. Now what public means is obviously other class files can draw data. A void means there is no return type. We'll get into return types later. As you can see, it says that's the return type. There's no like valid return type. Main is the name of the method. It has to be main. This is one of the few methods that you cannot change the name of. And string arguments is something we'll get into a lot later because that's a bit more complicated. So public static void main is pretty much the method in which you're going to write everything in. Now, well, in this class file at least. And one thing that you're going to pay attention to a lot is this thing right over here. If you saw my mouse, this is the outline. This is very useful for finding out what methods are in the class you are currently located in. In this one, it's the class main, and that's the method in there, the main string arguments method, which is very useful when we get into more complex things. So, the first statement we're going to learn is the System.out.print statement. Now, this is written like this, System.out.print. Let's put two quotation marks in there and end it off with a semicolon. Most statements have to be ended off with a semicolon unless it's something like an if statement or a do while statement, which we'll get into later, which involve blocks. In those you do not need semicolons. But pretty much what this method does is this is going to print something out on the terminal down here. We can make it say anything. We can make it say hi, and if we run it and save it, it's going to print hi out in the terminal. If we do was up, it's going to print was up out in the terminal, and that's pretty much what this method does. There are variations of these methods that we're going to learn in 2 episodes, but for now, that's the most I'm going to go into that. So, why do we need this mythical thing that you talked about called variables? It's easy enough already, telling your computer to say stuff, and now we just need to slap on a GUI and make it all pretty. And the answer is no. Variables are very important, and they are known as the building blocks of programming. You need to have variables, unless you obviously just want a program that says hi, and that doesn't change. A good example of why variables are useful is, say you have a program that, let's say, reads the weather to you. The weather changes, but if you have a set, pretty much, if you have a set System.out statement, it's always going to print out the same thing. Say it's sunny when you code it, but then it's rainy when someone asks for the weather. It's going to say it's sunny, and they're like, it's not sunny. So you're going to have to draw data from something. But you can't draw data directly into that statement. You have to store it in something called a variable. Now, there are many types of variables in Java, but I'm going to teach you the 5 most important until we get to arrays. And those are the integer. I don't know why I did that. The integer, the double, the string, the character, and then the boolean. Now, these are the 5 most basic types of variables, and this is pretty much how you'll set up a variable. Remember, we're going to be mostly coding in public static void main for now. Now, the way that you use this is if it says integer, then you're going to need to name the variable, because if you have 2 variables that are both integers, the computer at least won't really know which one's which, and they'll both overlap, so Java needs you to name them. So we're going to name this one variable 1, semicolon. We're going to make the double variable 2, semicolon, the string variable, variable 3, semicolon, and so on and so forth. Now we have 5 variables. Ignore these kind of caution signs. These go away once you start actually using the variables. Now we're not going to really be focusing on the boolean for a while. That comes a little later on once we get into objects and methods, maybe if statements too. But for now, what's very important about this is you know how to set up variables. So this is setting up a variable. It's the type of variable followed by the name of the variable. Now, how do you set a variable equal to something? Because right now they're all equal to 0. Integer is equal to 0, double is equal to 0.0, string is equal to null, character is equal to 0, and boolean is equal to false. I kind of just gave away what these mean, but right now we're going to know what kind of data each one holds. So an integer holds a number. Single number, it can be negative or positive. Doesn't matter, but it cannot be a decimal point. That's what the double is for. The double is a decimal point. It can be negative or positive. Sorry, I forgot to set it equal to. It can be negative or positive. The string can't be negative or positive because it's a word. You set it equal to and then the word. Let's set it equal to hi. The character is equal to a symbol or a word. And 9... Wait, sorry. It's single quotes. The 9, the and, the j. That's pretty much this. We're going to set it equal to g for now. Now, the string can also be, I forgot to mention, it can also be sentences. So hi and. You can put symbols in here. You can put anything that pretty much consists of words. But we're going to put hi there for now. The boolean is a true or a false value, a 1 or a 0. So we're going to set this equal to true for now. Okay, so now that we've set up these variables, we can actually start programming with them. So how do you use a variable? How do you make it affect things? Well, there are many things that variables can affect, but the most simple thing that it can affect is a System.out.print statement. And you're probably assuming, okay, so I get it. So you just put the name of the variable in these quotes, right? Yes, we're going to have it print out 1. And we run it, and no, it just prints out var1. So how do you do it? Well, you pretty much get rid of the quotes all over, and you type in the variable name by itself. As you can see, the caution sign went away, and when we run it, it's going to print out 1. If we made it variable 3, and we run it, it's going to say hi there, as we set variable 3 equal to hi there. Now, how can you make multiple variables print out at once on the screen? Now, a very simple solution is by making multiple System.out.print statements, right? That seems fair. Then we perhaps make this one variable 2 and this one variable 3. Now, the answer is yes, but the issue is that takes up a lot of space when you can really just do it in one statement. And that's with the use of plus signs. If you use plus signs in this statement, it registers it as adding another variable, or maybe a word. You could add a space in there using that. And then we can make it hi there. And let's do variable 5. I'll show you what a boolean prints out. A boolean prints out its value, so it's going to say hi there, true. Say the person's name is true. Now, say you wanted to say hi there, and let's say plus variable 1 plus wait, 1 plus 1 equals, and let's make it equal to a question mark right now. And then it's actually going to print out 1 plus 1 equals question mark. So that's combining variables along with words in a System.out.print statement. Hopefully you guys learned a bit today, and next class we'll be getting into more complicated variables, editing variables, changing variables, basic math, and a couple more System.out methods. I'll see you guys later. My name's Quince. Bye.